Hello dear student, how are you all? I'm Farzan Afroz from Rajaguttara Model College. Hopefully everyone continue to be healthy and safe life at your home. For our own safety, we must not go outside. So please stay at home and remain safe. Okay, so starting at home kinda boring, but it will be working nicely if you do your study routine wise. Today I'm going to teach you science which from class 8 and topic is reproduction in plant. Chapter 4. At first, I want to give you the content of this chapter. That means what types of topics are in there and what should we read. Let's start with the content. First of all is definition of reproduction for plant, types of reproduction, what is flower, description of different parts of flowers with level diagram, what is inflorescence, types of inflorescence with examples, what is pollination, types of pollination, and next one is media or agents for pollination and their significances. Next is how flowers become adapted for these agents. You people are also adapted for staying at home, right? You want to go outside, you want to hang out with your friends, you want to go school, but you can't for the current situation. So you stay at home and you adapted mentally for stay at home. And flowers also become adapted for their physiologically and physically, basically morphologically, for attract the agents for the purpose of pollination. So we should know the morphological adaptation of flowers with examples. Next is what is fertilization. Simple description of fertilization in plants with level diagram. Short description of formation of fruits. Different types of fruits with example. What is seed, diagram of seed, and last topic is what is germination and the process of germination and types of germination with example. So start with the reproduction definition. Reproduction is the biological process by which new offspring individual organisms are produced from their parent. That means it is a biological demand for living organism. Through this, generation after generation are produced. So, new individual one are produced from their parents through this process, which is called reproduction. Types of reproduction for plants basically are two types. One is asexual and another one is sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is again divided into the formation of spores, vegetative reproduction, and vegetative reproduction is divided into the natural vegetative and another one is artificial vegetative. So let's start with the asexual reproduction. The process of reproduction where offspring arise from a single parent and no involvement of male and female gamete is called asexual reproduction. So in this reproduction, either male or female parent are involved to rise a new one. There is no involvement, there is no fusion, there is no union of the gametes. General features of asexual reproduction are developed from single parent, inherit the genes of that single parent. It's obvious that it develops from a single parent, so it has the exact copy of that parent. It does not have any mutant genes or morphologically changes genes for their own. They have the exact copy of that single parent. So no involvement of meiosis, cell division and fertilization. From chapter 2, you know about the cell division. Cell division are three types, which is mitosis, mitosis and meiosis. And meiosis cell division is basically for the reproduction purpose. So asexual reproduction is only for single parent, so there is no meiosis cell division and also fertilization, mostly found in lower graded living organisms. So according to the types of asexual reproduction, the first one is the formation of spores, which is found in lower grade or plants. And next important points for the formation of spore is sporangium or spore case contains spore which produced from modified somatic cell body of plant. That means a modified somatic cell body which are body cell for growing of a plant. That is normal cell for plant body which contain lots of spore and it is like structure of a bag, which is called sporangium or spore case. That means a bag which contains lots of things. You can imagine your school bag. Your school bag contains lots of books, copies, pencil box, tiffin box, other things. So it is a one type of bag which contain lots of spore, but it is modified from where? Somatic cell body. Somatic means body cell of plant. Normally sporangium bears numerous spore. You can understand that sporangium or spore case after that slide, because I include that the diagram of this sporangium. Okay, next is exospore. Is one type of spore formation where spores may develop outside of the sporangium. Just imagine that a bag which basically contains spore, but a bag which does not any spore. Spores are outside of the bag. Then it is called exospore. Okay, some exospores known as Conidia. Examples of formation of spores are mucor, penicillium. You know, those are from the fungi. Penicillium and mucor, those are the examples of fungi. So these fungi are basically involved the reproduction, which is asexual reproduction, and the way of asexual reproduction is the formation of spores. Just look at the next slide, that there is the diagram of formation of spore in mucor. If you see the long individual one, which is called stem, and it has various branches, that is called hyphae, and this stem at the top, they contain a bag. Okay, they contain a bag which is called sporangium. This sporangium contains numerous spores, and those spores are burst out into the air, and each spore develop into an individual mucor. Okay, next, vegetative reproduction. One type of asexual reproduction which takes place through vegetative structure of plant, when a part of plant body developed or modified for reproduction without formation of any gametes, that portion or that structure is called vegetative structure for plant. If that part developed naturally, then it is called natural vegetative reproduction. If that part developed artificially in a laboratory, that is called artificial vegetative reproduction. So do you understand that vegetative reproduction is two types? One is natural, another one is artificial. Let's move next slide. That natural vegetative reproduction is again divided into four groups. One is segmentation, another one is through root, third number is modified stem, and last one is from leaves. Segmentation, basically if we understand the word, segmentation means segmented. Okay, divided into the various parts. It can be found in a lower organism, of course, lower organism of plant, basically Spirogyra, mucor. You know, Spirogyra is the algae and mucor is the fungi. So body split into the fragments, and each fragment develop in mature individual one. That means the whole body can divided into a various segments, or specific part of the body can divide it into a segment. When this segment continue to develop into mature one, that is called segmentation, natural vegetative reproduction. Okay, if the part of the root or root of plant helps for reproduction, then that is through root natural vegetative reproduction. Examples are sweet potato. Next one is the modified stem. Stems are modified various way to develop or to reproduce a new individual. These are tuber, rhizomes, valve, stolon, offset, bulbil. And from leaves, bryophyllum. You know, the Bangla name of bryophyllum is Pathorkuchi Pata. The leaves of the bryophyllums has various notches. Notch are the area where they have the inward projection. So those projections are help for the develop a new individual plants. So from leaves, plant can also reproduce themselves. Just see the picture. This is the potato, and through tuber, that means stem reproduction, stem are developed into a new individual or helps to produce a new individual. Next one is ginger, which is rhizome, and bulb for onion. The bulb is help in that there is a lateral exists through where a new individual onion is developed. Stolon, a plant which root are put into the soil, it inside the soil, and through the stem it develop another plant, and these stem are connected to plant to help connected them. So this is called the stolon or runner. Okay, next one is offset. Offset is basically for the aquatic plant. Their root remain into the water and they have the connected between two plants through the stem, that is offset. Another one is bulbil. Under the leaf or a part of the stem are growing into a swollen like structure, then it is called bulbil reproduction. And last one is for the leaves reproduction. So another next types is artificial vegetative reproduction. Artificial vegetative reproduction basically two types for your books. Okay, beside these two types there are lots of types, but we need to know about only these two types. One is grafting and one is cutting. Simply I can say that if I cut a part of the plant which is helpful in various way, we want to grow this plant or this fruit. I want the sweet mango. Let's example that I want a sweet mango, but I need a bigger mango. Okay, so there is two tree. One tree produce sweet mango but small size. Another tree produce bigger mango, but that is not so much sweet, or that is very sour. Okay, if I want to produce bigger mango with a sweet taste, then what should I do? I must do to join these two trees, and this joining is grafting. I cut a one portion of the sweet taste mango tree and put it into the bigger mango tree, then bandage them. That is called grafting. And cutting is like different thing. I cut a portion and put it into the soil and it grow into an individual one. That is cutting. Just see the picture that one portion is cut from there and another wood inside, put into the inside the wood and bandage them. That is called grafting. And cutting is like that. I cut it and put it into the soil. That is called cutting. So this is all about the asexual reproduction. We already know about their types, their definition, their diagram, their examples. So let's move into the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is a process that creates a new organism by combining the genetic material of two organisms involving the fusion of a male and female gamete. So there is most important thing is two individual must include or involve this reproduction. And for involving two types of parent or two parent, there is must be a combining or combinant or combining genetic material should be produced by their fusion. A flowering plant produces offspring through sexual reproduction. So without flowering plant, there is no chances for the sexual reproduction. Flower is an important organ of plant for reproduction. So we should know about what is flower and why flower is very important for as a reproductive part or reproductive organ, because flower is a modified shoot which is reproductive structure of a plant. A typical flower contains two types of part. In this point, I want to say about that. For flower parts, whenever we say that is the flower parts, we must say that this is halls of flower. So Halls is the synonym of parts for flower. What is I say? Halls is the synonym of part for flower. Whenever we introduce any part of flower, we should say halls of flower. So one is essential part or essential whole, another one is accessory part or accessory whole. For essential part, there is two types. There is two part. Why they are essential? Because they are involved directly into the reproduction. That's why they are called essential part. And one is androecium, another one is gynoecium. Androecium is male reproductive part of plant, and gynoecium is female reproductive part of plant. So male reproductive part of plant is called androecium, and female reproductive part of plant is called gynoecium. And accessory part is two. One is calyx, another one is corolla. Besides these four parts, flower contains another there are various types of parts. One is receptacle, which is also known as thalamus, pedicel, and floral disc. Calyx, basically green color. So beneath the calyx there is a small calyx which is called apicalyx. This is extra part. Some flower contains apicalyx. The most of the cases apicalyx are absent. Apicalyx is the majorly seen in the China rose. Next, last point for the flower is very important. Just look at the slide and make sure you understand that a typical flower consists of 4 distinct halls. So how many distinct halls present for the flower? There is 4: calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium, which are all attached to the receptacle. Receptacle, that means thalamus, an enlarged end of the pedicel. So pedicel end into an enlarged portion which is called thalamus or receptacle, and this receptacle and thalamus contain 4 distinct halls. Okay. According to presence or absence of halls in flower is 2 types. One is complete flower, having 4 parts of flower which mentioned previously, and another one is incomplete flower. So if 4 halls are present in flower, that means that is complete. They do not need any other portion. So this is called complete flower. If any part of the halls is absent, that is called incomplete flower. If pedicel, which is stalk, present, then that is called stalked flower. If pedicel absent, then that is called unstalked flower. So from previous slide we can say flower has 2 halls, accessory and essential. Accessory is calyx and corolla. Calyx and corolla. Essential is androecium and gynoecium. If you look at the slide, then you can see I write down that calyx it consists of several green units of sepal. That means a structural unit of calyx is called sepal. We know a rice bucket. So lots of rice grains present in a bucket. So that is called rice bucket. Each individual rice grain is rice, and it complete a bucket. So in that sense, sepal is the individual unit for calyx. Lots of sepal united and it made a calyx. Same as corolla. That is same for corolla like petal. Banglai jodi boli fuler papri. Petal. It is composed of several parts of units which is called petal. So corolla consists of several petals. Another types, essential halls. Androecium. The unit of androecium is called stamen. Stamen consists of 2 parts. One is stalk, which is filament. Another was in anther. Anther contains pollen grain. Gynoecium. The unit of gynoecium is called carpel, and carpel is made up of ovary, style, and stigma. Next, look at the picture of next slide, then you can understand it very clearly that Let's see, this is sepal. I already told you about that. The sepal is the unit of the calyx. So if there is 4 or 5, then we can say that those sepal made a calyx. Another one is, look at the petal, orange color, that is petal. There are lots of petal which make a corolla. Those are the accessory part. Next, essential part is stamen, which is part of the androecium, right? The unit of androecium is called stamen. Stamen has two parts. One is filament, another one is anther, was a swollen part top of the filament. Another is gynoecium. The unit of gynoecium is called carpel. Carpel is again 3 parts: stigma, style, and ovary. The long filament like structure which is called style, and upper or top portion of the style which is swollen type which is called stigma, and the below portion of the style is called ovary. Next, see very clearly that there is the filament and there is the anther, and this is the style for carpel, and this is stigma, and this is ovary. Look at the picture of that portion, that apicalyx and calyx. This is calyx, which is sepal. It consists of sepal. Beneath the calyx there is a apicalyx, which is green color. That is receptacle. Beneath the sepal there is a receptacle, and under the receptacle there is a pedicel. So pedicel, which enlarge into the receptacle or thalamus, and it contains the 4 halls. So dear student, today this part is only for flower. I want to stop there.